rocking with us. Paradigm Review Show, #1 review show in the interwebosphere. Man, it's been such a blur since the move, guys. I'm trying to remember what our drops are and what the channel updates are. My brain is absolutely mashed potatoes, but let's have you go first.
We'll just go with the immediate one for now. We'll just go with today's. So coming up later today, 4 p.m. PST, there will be another episode of the Zodiac Files with a cat live from New Zealand. It will be 1 p.m. his time if I've got the time difference worked out. So anyway, it'll be coming up live later, so definitely stay around for that. I'm going to let Ross tell you more about that since my true crime knowledge is like 1%. So
it's my boy Dion Walker. So this is my favorite Zodiac researcher. He's been 95% behind the scenes since he's been doing his thing. He's the expert on the FBI files and getting those FOIA'd in terms of Zodiac. You guys saw him on, he did make his first appearance debut on PXF with Craig in that episode when we discussed the media influence on the Zodiac, which I thought was spot on. I thought it was one of the better episodes. So we have a long list of topics. We're going to try and get to them all. The FBI files, he wrote a essay called the One Killer Theory essay, which I really like. I thought it was one of the better written pieces on Zodiac. People get out of control with it, guys, and they go, was it 2 guys? Was it 3 guys? Was it a team of 10? Was Zodiac 20 guys? And the most likely, explanation is it's 1. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because the handwriting is consistent and only 1 guy is seen at the crime scene. So that's kind of where me and D land on that one. What up, Pixie? I know I owe you one, so we'll get that handled for you. And I mean, I guess we could toss out a little bit of the schedule, guys, just for lack of a better thing, because we did get that posted. So next week, Bloodsport, right around the Bloodsport anniversary. Gaz and I do have some frightening, terrifying, we don't want it to be true PXF news in the Bloodsport space, so we'll save that for next week. You can tell by our faces it's nothing either of us are excited about. And after that, Havoc with Tom Hardy, directed by Gareth Evans, legendary director of The Raid Redemption. UFC tonight, Pixie. Who you got? Let's get some picks. We got the Volk Lopez, the open belt, and then we got Paddy the Batty Pimblett from up Liverpool. The 5th Beatle is a Scouser versus Michael Chandler, so it should be crazy. A couple other decent fights on the CAD. So let us know where you're landed on those picks. But next month we have some good stuff coming up for May. So we'll keep that rolling as well. And I'm sure I probably missed a bunch of other things in terms of channel updates.
Yeah, it's a busy schedule, folks. As I say every episode, we are working on many things behind the scenes with PXM as a whole, ranging from Zodiac, PXF, games, paranormal, ancient alternative history, so many different areas. So we will drop updates as we get things confirmed, rather than just, hey, yeah, we're thinking of this, we're working on this, and then there's nothing for you. But there will always be an episode of something on here. We'll either be live with Zodiac Files, well, Ross will be, or on PXF. And yeah, Pixie, we could maybe do a Norris month or something for you at some point. That would be dope. Delta Force and Missing in Action, all those sick movies, The Octagon as well.
Yeah, I have The Octagon on my list. We definitely need to get Norris. I know, Pixie. We've been doing Eastwood, and we've been doing Costner. We've been doing some of the guys, but yeah, no, Norris is coming for sure. I mean, I think we need to highlight Van Damme with Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys are up to, or any questions for us? Feel free to throw them in the chat. I don't have my PXF shirt today. A funny story. So I don't know what's going on with Teespring. So as Gaz knows, I ordered my PXF hoodie in January so I could wear it for you guys for the winter shows. And now summer is like a month away. So I guess I'll just be turning on the AC when I unveil the PXF hoodie. It only took 5 or 6 months for the host to get it. So I can only imagine.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we're keeping consistent, man, because that T-shirt, the PXR part of PXM T-shirt, that's like it's been in a wardrobe for a long time that I've actually been meaning to wear.
Gaz is trying to take that one out of the. I don't know. I think Jerome had something to do. I don't know what he's up to. I mean, he's a big horror head, so he'd probably be tapped into this episode once it drops. So without further ado, you guys know I crowdfunded this one. Desert Fiends, directed by Shawn Philips, produced by Nicole Vegas. Shout out to them. They're actually out in the Nevada desert right now filming Desert Fiends 2. I don't know if they closed the crowdfunding, so you guys can Google that. But if you just search like Desert Fiends 2 on Indiegogo, it should come up. And if they have any perks left, Shawn would be the guy to talk to about that. But he's Cool Duder on Instagram, Cool Duder on YouTube. Has a very vast pedigree in the comedy horror space. The trailers are absolutely insane. So yeah, it's linked below in the description. Go check out the trailer. If you have Amazon Prime, you can go watch the trailer on there too. And I think I shared the link out on X, so go take a look at that. But from what Gaz and I gathered, very trauma inspired. So this would be up your alley, Pixie. Hardcore on the gore and violence. Definitely heavy on the comedy elements. You know, the way Shawn writes his stuff, it's like heavily comedic dialogue. So couple celebrity cameos, whatever you want to call those guys. Of course, there's Eric Roberts. There is Tom Arnold. His character was absolutely hilarious. Shawn's character was very funny too. I like how Shawn just puts himself like randomly in the mix as opposed to like being the director and trying to be the main character. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and there's some. I'm really going to behave. Maybe if we do a follow-up to this review at some point, like a spoiler review, say. But there are some really subtle references if you look carefully. Especially, I'll just say if you're from the metal punk persuasion as well, you'll definitely get them. I can't say more than that, folks. So I'll give the whole scene away, but you'll know it when you see it. And those were quite smart, and it made me smile as well. I thought I know exactly what this is referring to. So that was very well done. Say right off the bat, if you're a fan of comedy horror, trauma, The Hills Have Eyes, Return of the Living Dead, all of those kind of series, then you will definitely feel Desert Fiends for sure.
Yeah, what got me was like The Hills Have Eyes influence, because that's one of my probably favorites of like that style of horror franchises, as Gaz would said. And then obviously, our horror experts are more like, Lauren Lepre, Jerome, those guys probably watch more horror than either Gaz or us.
Definitely.
Or I do. Gaz is like into more of like the slapstick, horror comedy, like, a la Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, which I think this does fall into nicely. I could probably say my two favorite things about the film, Gaz, are the music. I don't know who did the score, but I'd have to look it up. It's like heavy on the 80s synth, but it worked very well. Like there's just like the Desert Fiends theme. There's just certain tracks that are just like bangers, and I'm like, that's awesome. Like you could listen to the score for this. I'd say this is right. Pixie. You could probably listen to the score of this when you're working or whatever, working out or whatever, and probably bang out. I don't know if they release it or they have plans to release it separately, but it was absolutely banger. And then the grainy film filter over the shot, it's over the whole movie rather, but over the camera. Like I don't know if Shawn edits this, or I'm sure it's edited in the credits if he works with his editor, but like A+ on both of those. I thought score was spot on, and then I really like that grainy Grindhouse filter.
It made it really authentic, really paying homage to those movies we've mentioned and that 80s era with the synth and the atmosphere, because, when we've talked about those movies, both up there, we've always mentioned the score, the atmosphere, how it hooks you in, it keeps you watching. And this certainly has that. And if you take away some of our technology from this that we do see in the film, bits of it, and you could certainly think this was right from that kind of 80s era. It definitely it feels like it. And I'm just going to say with the band as well, and a particular scene, and that's all I'm going to say, folks. It's right out there, and as Ross rightly said, if you are a fan of that slapstick comedy horror, I mean that's kind of the horror that I tend to watch. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, right off the rip. I mean, it's like the back and forth dialogue with the first two characters you've seen, and just like
what a way to open a movie. That conversation.
I suppose the Fiends have their own sense of humor, if you will, given that they're you know what I mean, mutantly deformed psychos. So you know their dialogue is very funny as well. I thought the Fiends kind of stole the show. What was it? Oh yeah, I was about to pull up the synopsis just because I could read it for you guys. I think it's very brief, but 6 friends on the. So again, if you watch the trailer or you read the synopsis, we're not telling you anything that's already. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they showed some of that in the trailer, but it definitely gets a lot more brutal, Pixie. I don't. So right now, like we said, it's on Amazon Prime. I think it's a U.S. only release, but Shawn told me it's coming to U.K. and Italy. So hopefully that will not U.K. Italy and Germany, but hopefully that will help you guys out in Europe. 6 friends on their way to a concert break down in the middle of nowhere, encounter a deranged family that lives in the desert, killing anyone they come across. We'll get into the rating later, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I like simplicity when it comes to horror. You know what I mean? I think that does lead us to. So you get the idea. It's supposed to be like this music festival in the beginning of nowhere. The punk band is supposed to be this. What were they, guys? The Bell Ends. The Bell Ends.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that kind of slang to throw in from a kind of that punk kind of, I'll say, southern kind of Brit in there. Yeah, so and there's I'm sure there's a band as well called the Bell Ends, so that made it even funnier.
yeah, absolutely. Bei Ling, we didn't mention her of the Crow fame. She's in there. She kind of does a lot of the indie horror stuff now ever since post the Crow. So you know, it's got those kind of celebs sprinkled through there, at least the horror kind of those known horror personalities. Yeah, I mean, my only real problem, like I said, like the editing was really good. I mean, we haven't done too much on the practical effect, of course, like, you know, at least the way it's shot, you know, almost like the Thing style practicality with the effects and the, you know, I'd have to imagine Shawn would have took some influence from the Thing. So the kills are brutal, guys. You know, it's very, as Pixie said, trauma-esque with the blood splatters and the explosions, organs, and all things of that nature. Things that you'd kind of expect if you watched the trailer. My only real problem with it, you know, Gaz and I both talked about this briefly, is just probably the pacing. It did take a little bit too long to introduce the Fiends. I don't know if there is CGI or not. I mean, I'm sure nowadays they use it like a little bit, but it depends how it's used, right? Like you really can't tell in terms of the kills and the brutality. You really can't tell if it's in. And I assume the way the blood splatters like all over the crowd and other people and stuff, you really can't CGI that. So that's my guess. Be a question for Shawn and Nicole.
Yeah, and it's got even though the kills and the violence are very brutal, but it has that humor, like we mentioned from those movies, you know, Evil Dead, Night of the Living Dead. A recent movie that this one's on TV quite a lot, and it's another horror comedy, and it's called Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and you know that's full of slapstick comedy horror, so it's got that tone. And I'll just say right from the start, when they say pictures can speak 1,000 words, well, the picture certainly does speak the words for a certain cuss word that is thrown around. The way that was, and the way the camera panned back on that scene as well.
Yeah, I think they do use high quality cameras and all that. Brett Wagner, he's super famous in horror. I believe he's Leatherface, and was that the remake, the Texas Chainsaw? I think it's the first remake that he plays Leatherface in. He's the dude that was with Shawn Philips in the truck. Guys,
Yeah.
great beard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I believe he played Leatherface. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty stacked. What up, Slippy? It's pretty stacked. Go check out Desert Fiends, bud. We posted the trailer below. We're not doing any spoilers today because it's brand new. It just dropped. What day did it drop? The 8th, Tuesday, I think it was, which was Chino XL's birthday. Go get Map of Bones on all DSPs. So yeah, it was really just the pacing. Like some of the dialogue scenes got drawn out a bit, given that like the characters, you have like the kid and his girlfriend, and they're the crew supposed to be going to the show. Then you have the film crew. The cult was pretty funny, guys. That one dude, when he's giving them that rant of like, you guys are my followers and like accept the spirits from another world. He said like summon all the Anunnaki from Planet X, and I was like, oh, there's our Planet X reference, our Anunnaki reference.
Yeah, definitely. And as that scene progresses, the guy's still kind of giving a speech. I'm really making a conscious effort here not to do a Gaz and unintentionally drop spoilers, but it's even funnier when he continues with his speech as things progress.
Yeah, that's a bit like how the band was playing when the dude chases Shawn. I didn't know what Shawn's character's name was. I'll have to go look it up. It's the redheaded dude with the hat is obviously Shawn C. Phillips, who's the director. Let's see if it said what is
Peter, isn't it? Was it Peter?
Yeah, it was Peter. Yeah. And Nicole Butler played Janine. Nicole was recently on Lauren the Priest podcast. Go check out Average Superstar Films, Average Superstar TV. I don't know if she was with somebody else. I don't know if that was from their film crew, but go check out that episode. Red, this one would be up your alley, man, because they have a little punk rock commentary in here, kind of I guess poser punk rock, if you want to call it that. There's a big reveal about the band, and they're not so talented, were they, guys?
No, they weren't. Which that was actually one of my favorite scenes of the movie, because I think if you're a music head, and we've had conversations about this kind of thing ourselves for years, Ross. So that really kind of hit home with me, and that's why that scene really resonated, and how the whole thing kind of pans out as well. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, the lead singer guy was, that guy was amazing. He was absolutely hilarious. He's like, when he gives him what he gives him backstage, and he's like, hey man, like this, this is our big secret. Just play it off this, and then I won't say what it was, but the engineer is like, what? He's like, I don't even know if I can play that. I don't know if I have the tech. And he's like, wait, do I have to rely on this? You know what I mean? Absolutely hilarious. So yeah, this one would definitely be up you guys again. And as Gaz said, with the music references, the kind of sort of hot topic references, and all the things of that nature, all the pop culture stuff. It's all in there. Woo! Sorry, guys, long week.
Yeah, answer that to Red. Yeah, new vulvectomy. I had it months ago. Dude, it's pretty sick. But yeah, so yeah, I was with you on the pacing. That was the when that dropped, I just felt it just dragged the film out just a little bit. It was just that little bit too long. And I think some of the dialogue between the characters could have been cut out, and then a little bit of a long build up to where the Fiends are introduced. We briefly did. Try my best. There's kind of an appearance earlier, I think, just very, very short. But I just feel if they could have maybe trimmed 20 minutes off it, that would have been perfect. I'm wrong. It's not bad. I enjoyed it. There's so many funny moments. It's just some of those back and forth with the characters, with the dialogue, just extends it just that little bit too much.
Yeah, I feel like the back and forth, like, comedic dialogue sequences would be tough to watch on multiple views. Like when you watch it once the first time and you're just seeing the jokes for the first time, like it's fine, but if you were to go back and watch it a second time. What up, Jeff? Stick around, bud. We're gonna be coming back with Dion Walker in about 2 hours, hour and a half. Yeah, I don't know Sean Clark. I haven't seen him, but you can feel free to send me. You guys have my email, right? You can feel free to send me stuff or whatever. That's cool. I like that they live and the. I've actually seen a lot of that stuff slip when me and my videographer met Sandy King, who is John Carpenter's wife, at San Diego Comic-Con. They had a bunch of the kind of the stuff from the Carpenter movies. So they had like props from They Live, and they had props from The Thing. Maybe they had some stuff from In the Mouth of Madness. I haven't seen that in mad long. What was I saying there? Yeah, I'm with Gaz on the pacing. So the Fiends do like make some cameo pop-ups. He kind of shoots the kills without showing the Fiends, right? At the first act, Gaz, and then he kind of dips his toes in the waters with the Fiends coming out with the bags over their heads, which is cool. I mean, they looked sick with the bags on their heads. That was very reminiscent of the Devil's Rejects when the Fireflies are wearing those bag. You guys know me about me in the bag masks, a la Zodiac, the Texarkana Moonlight Murders, the Texarkana Phantom, and the Santa Rosa Hooded Terror. So that's like a big thing in true crime, actual murders, and then as well as that types of stuff influences horror. So I don't want to call it like Devil's Rejects derivative, but the Fiends did come across a bit like the Rejects, just because like in Devil's Rejects it's Otis, Captain Spaulding, and Firefly. So three Rejects, three Fiends. But I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, I think if you're like a Devil's Rejects fan, you probably would enjoy Desert Fiends. That being said, way more comedic than anything Rob Zombie ever does. So.
Yeah, I mean the humor helps balance it. There's an amusing scene where the Fiends. I'm just about to break my promise, so no, I can't say any more than that. I'll just say they do have a notable appearance. Thank you, Jeff. That's really kind of you. Thank you for the donation, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, they do have a very amusing appearance. Again, if you go to a lot of musical festivals, it'll resonate with you as well. That's as much as I can say.
I mean, he does. So I don't mind dropping a couple lines here and there just before we get out of here. So like, one of the Fiends does something when he's live on stage in front of everybody. Doesn't he say something like, "This band sucked"? Like he dissed it when he walks away. He's like, "That was terrible. This guy sucks." Like even the Fiends had really absolutely funny dialogue. Just real quick, guys. Jeff, if there's anything you want us to cover specifically, like if you're throwing down like that, if you want a topic, you want to shout out, do you have some social media you want us to shout out? You guys are like way too kind with the donation. So it's PXF. We're not above bribes here. So if there's something you need shouted out or a topic you want covered, just let us know.
Yeah, the same for review, Jeff. If there's something you would like us to take a look at, then please let us know and we can work that into the schedule for you.
Absolutely, 100%. And whether that's reviews, movies, TV shows, short films, true crime, just let us know, man. Just let us know what you want kept. I don't know. I mean, again, it's kind of tough because you guys haven't seen this one. So I would say like they did crowdfund. Like, I'll give you guys a little bit of the background on like Shawn and Nicole and their kind of outfit. So they've had some ridiculous success with their indies. So they got $150K for Desert Fiends 1. They got $150K for Skate to Hell, and we're just talking about Indiegogo crowdfunds, not anything else. And then they've got over $150K for Desert Fiend 2, so that's like almost $500K in 3 films, guys, which is pretty impressive for crowdfunding. I mean, obviously Shawn has the nice camera and the experience and all that. Yeah, I mean, you already threw down for this, Pixie, but I know. Hold me accountable. It's what we do here. And then if you guys, you can always go look up Shawn C. Philips on IMDb, like I said, and see all the other stuff he did. But try to think of like Tom Arnold, like I said, absolutely hilarious. He did a good job as the
do you want to get Eric Roberts as well? I know he's only in the film briefly. Apparently he's down on the cast for the sequel as well, which is good. But I thought, this is as much as I can say, to get that performance I thought from Eric Roberts, I thought, absolute mad respect for that. so well done. And then he went kind of back into the Eric Roberts we all kind of know and were expecting. So I thought he was really good. Shout out to I'll change the name of the character just because you know what YouTube's now like with words. So I'll call him Dr. A. Dr. A, yeah.
Yeah, the artist.
He was funny as well.
Oh, I don't know if you mentioned this. We were talking earlier, but the whack rappers freestyling.
Yeah, dude.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious. Like just like the whack rapping freestyle. Like everyone has seen someone do that, and you know what I mean. It's like that was hilarious too. So yeah, there's just some super funny moments. Obviously, the Fiends are sick. Whoever did wardrobe for Shawn and Nicole, I love the outfits of the Fiends. You know, they kind of got like the one dude has like that colonial jacket, guys, and they kind of have like the chains and the ropes on them and stuff. So they look super sick. Their weapons were like semi-original. So the Fiends were definitely one. I think Shawn knows this, but you know, obviously, like you want to see the Fiends get tested. So there's like, I think there'll be a little bit more opposition to the Fiends in 2, and then I think he'll kind of double down on, you know, hopefully showing the Fiends more.
Yeah, I think this one is
giving them the front stage, you know.
So. Yeah, this was kind of, as you rightly just said there, is kind of like setting the front stage for them, introducing us to them, what they're about. I mean, if someone wanted to get picky, you could argue in some points, oh, well, there's a lot of people don't fight back, but this is very much, and I mean this in the nicest way, this is no negativity towards the cast or Shawn in any regard. It's definitely one of those movies where it's eject your brain and just enjoy it. It's entertainment. It's hilarious. It's something, if it did get a limited theater run, you could happily watch and probably just laugh out loud and just like, man. I watch all manner of movies like this that I've plagued Ross and Mac with for years, especially one involving a famous purple warrior man lizard thing, which I messaged them about in the middle of the night, just because I thought that'd be nice to do. Maybe they didn't think that at the time. So yeah, this was certainly up my alley in that regard. But I did think the cast, I mean, the notable names, I mean, shout out to Biling as well. I thought she was good. I think it wasn't the manager, or maybe it was the guy who was kind of a bit like the fashion consultant for the band, you know, was very camp. Yeah. He was funny. The cast did look like they were enjoying themselves as well, even the minor parts. That's something I noticed. So that's always a good sign. Yeah. Like we're all having fun, and that really shone through the movie.
It was all those different tropes. It was like the gothic, like punk rock, like indie fanboy fangirls that you see at every kind of punk festival. You know what I mean? It's like all those different tropes. Robert Losardo was the first character they showed in the intro scene. Yeah. I know he's like that guy. He's like super big in horror. I'm sure Lauren would know way more about him than me. Eric Roberts, if I'm not mistaken, he's in Expendables 2, right, guys? So I mean, his or Expendables 1, he's in one of them. His pedigree is absolutely insane. So you know, Expendables, you know, fame right there. That's, you know, type of thing I would always be tapped into, right, guys? Except for Expendables 4, because that movie sucked. He wasn't in that one, so don't worry, no bad on him. I think it's like the trauma heavy influence, and as guys said, the campy, you know, slapstick comedy. Like I think all of I haven't even seen that many of Shawn's movies, but definitely check out the trailer for Skate to Hell. I think the trailer's out now, isn't it, guys? Did I share it? Because I think you guys will see a familiar PXF face. Skate to Hell is another official PXF co-signed movie. So Desert Fiends out on Amazon, Skate to Hell coming soon, and then Desert Fiends 2 coming soon once they get it going. But pretty stacked. And that was the other thing too, like we were saying, like to have that much heavy dialogue back and forth, you know, Act 1 and Act 2, like when the Fiends were introduced and what they were doing to characters throughout Act 1 and Act 2, you kind of knew that none of the humans were gonna survive. Like, so, sorry if that's a spoiler if you haven't seen The Hills Have Eyes or anything from this kind of like post-apocalyptic mutant subgenre, but you kind of all knew where it was all going. So in the end, it has to focus on. I
mean,
the Fiends.
Yeah, and there's quite a few movies like this, folks. There's another. I was mentioning this to Ross a few hours ago, where it's loosely similar-ish, where there's a coach of musicgoers are taken in the middle of nowhere, and like the desert festival, a kind of Burning Man, I guess, and
Yeah.
they get attacked by a cult, and it's very. It's got the mix of humor, a very gruesome gore as well, and it's almost kind of like a subgenre because there's quite many movies, with this theme. Certainly hilarious as well, and Scared to Hell looks sick.
Yeah, Skate to Hell's a hilarious
Yeah.
concept too. It's a demonic skateboard that this kid kind of gets passed around. There was a lot of talk about me getting more involved in that too. Like me and Shawn were trying to find me a role in that. I just told him like Desert Fiends is probably more like my type of thing, just because I like the the post-apocalyptic kind of deformed mutants, a la the Fallout universe, etc. But I Skate is fire too. I would have. Obviously you'll see how I integrated the Skate. I guess that brings up another quick thing. The way they used the crowdfunders, guys, it was obviously like they did like the newscasters at the end with the credits, which was like what we were talking about with Boondock Saints. That's kind of become a thing in action horror. Like the public reaction to the crimes of the Fiends doing what they do at the festival, which I assume is obvious to you guys if you watch the trailer. It's a horror movie with mutants. It's only going to go one way, right? But that one part with like the live streaming sequence, guys, when that kid shouted out his channel, like I actually thought they did a really good job of incorporating those crowdfunders. Like it wasn't like disruptive where you're watching this horror comedy movie and some guy's like, hey, it's Ross from PXF. Right now I'm with Gaz. Check out my YouTube channel. It just like messes up the pace of like what's going on. I thought the way that Shawn integrated it like actually worked fairly well. You know what I mean? In terms of the plot and the pacing and stuff.
Yeah. Also at the end as well, on the end credits. That was kind of replicated again, which was pretty good. It kind of
I thought they both worked.
Yeah, give it a bit of authenticity, actually, almost like you were getting on the ground, real world kind of reaction to what is happening in the desert, even though this is a fictional story and obviously movie we're watching. But yeah, it added that grin in for sure, and that was well done.
But still live streamed and all that. So
yeah.
It'd be obvious, like, hey, these people went to this festival, none of them came back. It'd be obvious what happened to them. You know what I mean? So, with that, any other questions, PXF related questions for myself and Gaj Moss PXM? You guys can fire them away. I know most of you haven't seen this, but go check out the trailer on YouTube. Go check it out on Amazon Prime, and I figure we pull up our ratings, Gaz.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's good.
I was just going to say, give a quick shout out about Desert Fiends 2 as well. If you look at the cast, it's got a pretty impressive cast for the upcoming sequel as well. Eric Roberts again. I'm
sure Skate to Hell will have some names in it too. Like everything Shawn and Nicole do, like they're on top of like the indie horror genre. Like appreciate you, Jeff. We're gonna be doing this deep dive in about an hour. It's an hour and a half here with Dion, so it's gonna be hopefully some new things that like the Zodiac community. 80-90% of the people that I talk to know nothing about the FBI files. I'm getting real sick of the spinning the wheels with the nonsense suspects on Facebook and the choose your own adventures that people are making up with the case, because none of it's grounded in any sort of
Telltale Games edition.
Dion and I are going to put a stop to all that stuff. So it's got almost 500 reviews, which is not bad for something that came out this week. It's got 8.4 out of 10, which I think Shawn and Nicole are probably pretty happy with. It doesn't say the rating. It says 18 plus. I'd give it a hard R, guys, or non-rated. I gave him 8. I thought it was hilarious. Again, I don't know how many times I would rewatch, but dialogue's absolutely hilarious. No, please go ahead. We don't care, Pixie. I'm going to be going back and forth with you. But the gore, blood and gore, is a 10. Some very how do we say this delicately, guys? A brutal removal of extremities in several.
It's Well, I can't even put it in an alternative way. I mean, I've got how I would put it, but I can't now.
Usually you're the master of that, but this one's particularly difficult.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is you can't even some extreme metal band names on here now. Even if you say what they're called, they get on you about that. Yeah, there is some other ways and manners of showcasing, I guess, what trauma was famous for. There we go. There we go.
Nice job.
Done
Nice
it.
job.
Done it.
There. He found his way to it. He found his way to it.
Yeah. We got there.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious, guys. I think you enjoy it. If you're again, like if you want like super serious horror, like the Shawn Philips films aren't it. But as far as like how the gore looks, like super realistic. Super realistic.
Yeah. Yeah, Slip. Yeah, I'm with Ross. I would give this an 8. It's if you, like Ross said, if you're into the more serious horror, this probably wouldn't be for you. But if you like comedy horror, if you like as well, and I mean this in the nicest way, watching silly movies that are very goofy, that you can just switch your brain off and laugh at for 90 minutes or so, then this is definitely up there. Has some really funny moments, some really good references to music as well. Some of the jokes and some of the critiques, those of us deep in the music scenes have often talked about with each other. So I thought that was really well integrated into the film. I would happily watch it at the theater. It's definitely worth a watch, worth the giggle. It's probably not something you're going to watch over and over again, but it does make me interested in Shawn's work, want to watch more of his movies, think, I wonder what else this guy is doing, and obviously want to see Skate from Hell. It's just a giggle, and it is.
Yeah, 100%. As Gaz said, this is Shawn's genre. It's just he writes comedic dialogue, and he's fine with the funny moments. Yeah, Roberts is the man, bro. Fucking he's in 1 and 2, as Gaz said. But yeah, no, like blood effects is there, gore is there. Like if you want the blood and gore, like that's your horror thing, like the Terrifier fan base or whatever, it's in there. The dialogue is a bit more comedic. I definitely want to see part 2. She's talking about Gary Francis Post. I gave you that rant last time, guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Post versus Geik though. I don't know. Maybe it's close. I think people are trying to rate Geik way too high. Yeah, go give it a spin, guys. I crowdfunded it. It's absolutely hilarious. I don't know if feel free to get involved if they're still doing the campaign on Desert Fiends 2. Hopefully they could make a little series out of it. And then I think he as far as Shawn's other films, guys, he definitely did something about Bigfoot. I forgot what it was called. And then the last one they had was called like something witch. So he's made a lot of films. Like if you look him up on IMDb, like that dude has made a lot of these types of horror movies. So definitely go check out his stuff. Like I said, you guys can follow him on YouTube. I think his Instagram is Cool Duder. I think his Feed the Cats. I think his YouTube might be Cool Duder as well. Looks like he did Ghost Shark. I'll shout out a couple of his jams.
Oh man, I've actually heard of that. Ghost Shark. Yeah.
Here's him as an actor roles or director. So he's directed 18 Woods Witch. I think that's what his last one was called, Woods Witch. They did Amityville Shark House. That's got to be hilarious. I'm big into that Amityville case. Have you seen all those guys?
Yeah. I have, man. And there's something about that, and it's kind of what's just. I mean, this isn't Amityville related, but I remember talking to a band, bro, a few years back, and they shot a video in a house, and it was on the East Coast.
That's sick. Yeah, it's in Long Island.
Yeah, and I'll just say, somebody told them only to walk out of the house in a certain way, or bad spirits would follow you, and apparently they'd followed people who had not left the house in the right way. Again, I'm not saying this is fact or anything. This is just what they were telling me.
What you
heard,
I
remember the guy was saying to me, he said they were they'd never been so spooked out in a live shooting that video that they did, and he told me what had happened, what the case was in this house that happened to someone, and man, I didn't say it'd make for a show for sure.
Yeah, I know about the case. It's just like what I've heard is like it's been dormant for like 20, 30 years and nothing happened. Like when that original family moved in, it was just like an insane amount of activity and then eventually just dropped off. But again, I don't know. I just casually followed that. But this looks absolutely hilarious. Amityville Karen. That is perfect. That is perfect.
I'm sold already.
That is perfect. Yeah, Amityville Shark House, Amityville Karen.
Yeah. The case was on about Pixie. It wasn't Amityville. I can't even say it now. It was a separate case, but something kind of similar. And it's an insane story.
Yeah,
honestly.
The Reynolds was the remake.
Yeah,
I think there's like 2.
I love that name.
Virus of the Dead, 60 Seconds to Die. You did a bunch of sequels to that. Dysmorphia, Theater of the Deranged, Treasure Chest of Horrors, Around the Country. Looks like it's like an animated one. That's most of the stuff he directed.
Yeah.
But where are we at? We're like 40 minutes. So yeah, I think that'll do it, guys. We'll probably wrap. Go check out Desert Fiends on Amazon. Trailer posted below. Like I said, right now it's out in the U.S. and then should be coming to Italy and Germany, and we'll see about distribution in the rest of the places. Come back and join us in about an hour 15 with Dion Walker from New Zealand, talking the Zodiac FBI files, Zodiac Files live interview, volume 17. Should be a banger. Definitely want to get some. Maybe I'll address some of the current events in Zodiac and kind of go ham on things that have been annoying me, make that enjoyable for you. But we have a lot of topics to get to, so we're going to do our best, me and Dion, to get through that stuff. Like we said, Bloodsport next week. Hopefully Greg Fernandez will be joining us.
And Pixie, be prepared for something that we really hope hasn't been given the green light by the time we do that show, because if it does, it's the Crow revisited again, the Crow remake, and
possibly worse because the original is so like, I don't know, it's tough to weigh them, but I mean, and the thing is, like, A24 is not that bad. Like, I'm not like an A24 fanboy. I don't think everything they make is incredible, but like Civil War had its moments, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's definitely like things that A24 does well, but it's
didn't they do that slasher movie Maxine recently dropped to Kevin Bacon, and Kevin Bacon's dope in horror, very underrated. No, it's actually meant to be a pretty good movie. I've not seen it myself.
I think I saw. Isn't that me and Lauren has seen all those, and I think which one's the one I think there's 3, right? I think it's X, Maxine, and Pearl. And I don't know if it's in that order, but I think it's like a semi-trilogy. I saw the first one, which maybe that was X, when they were like making the porno and they got attacked by the old people.
Yeah.
That was the one I saw.
Some things I think need to be left alone, because there's a way that you could change it and make it relevant to now, but then it really wouldn't be that film. You may as well just make a separate film of that theme, and it's had many unofficial sequels as well.
So UFC is doing an official movie. Did I tell you about this, Gaz? Turkey Al-Sheikh, who does all the Raida season of boxing and MMA events, he's getting involved with UFC and Dana, and Zack Snyder is supposed to direct it, which I think is really interesting, because if it's like hard R, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying like Justice League Zack Snyder. I'm saying like Dawn of the Dead, like 300 Zack Snyder back when he was good. Like,
yes, if you not Rebel Moon Zack Snyder either.
Right. Well, Jesus, don't ever mention that again. If you take away all the crap and just like, hey, just an octagon with a crowd, I actually think Zack Snyder's pretty good, because you're just shooting live action actors. You're not like CGIing. It's not going to be like the Roadhouse remake, right? So there's that. Yeah, Zack Snyder's directing it. Warfare from A24. That's like that new war movie. That
drops this week.
That looks okay. I still want to make it to a wanking man. Gaz saw that one. Gaz saw that one. It's the new Jason Statham with David Ayer, and then I want to see. I think it is called Brawler Slip. You know your stuff, man. And then also Dwayne Johnson's playing Smashing Machine. That's another MMA movie. Gaz and I actually interviewed John Hyams, who did the
Oh,
Smashing
yeah,
Scene documentary
yeah,
back in the
yeah.
day. So now they're making an actual Hollywood feature film of that. What up, Steve? We're
Oh,
coming
dude,
back.
we should reach out to him, man. We should reach out to
Yeah,
him.
you know what? He did a Q&A. I think they did Regeneration up there in LA, and I saw it on his X, and I was going to pull up because I figured there wouldn't be many action heads, and I just didn't make it to it. But if he does another Q&A, I'll try to go and, like, you know, ask him a few Unisol questions and maybe, you know, whatever, get a little video or something.
Yeah, do you remember us from, like, years ago?
Hey, I'm your one Universal Soldier fan. Hey, if you ever choose 5, you know, me and Gaz will be reviewing it. I'm sure.
Yeah, do you remember that small show from, like, about 10 years ago when we told you? Yeah.
Audio only. And then it took us probably another 6 months to put it on YouTube. Yeah, that was us. So there's that. There's all that stuff coming out. Warfare, and then Sinners. Sinners apparently has a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's Michael B. Jordan, the vampire movie. So I want to see that. It comes out next week. Also, The Ass Accountant, aka The Accountant.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch that.
I'm gonna check those out too.
Yeah, so. I'm curious because John Berthnell is in that, and he made 2 cameos in The Amateur, which just dropped as well, which is okay. You know, it's not terrible. So yeah, interested in that. Yeah,
so some film news, guys. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. We're thinking about doing a tribute show to him, and we still should do one for Hackman. Any final questions for PXF, lads? We got Patty the Batty, the Scouser coming up. Who do you got? Pixie? You got Chandler or Patty?
Who are you, Pixie? I think I'm Chandler, you know.
Everybody has Chandler, but honestly, dude, if he slips on a banana peel, his ground game sucks. You know, Patty will sub the lights on him. So, it's if he overthrows those out of control strikes like he always does, he always falls down. If Patty gets his back, the fight is over. If he knocks Patty out, well, that speaks for itself. Who do you have main event, guys? Do you have Volk or Lopez?
Maybe Volk.
I have Volk, but Lopez is like, he's been so good in his last 3 or 4 that he hasn't made a single mistake. So it's like, wow, whoever, as far as who has the momentum, it's Lopez, obviously. But I like Volk on the whole.
The fights on the card for me, Paddy Chandler and then Volk and Lopez. People think, I'm stating the obvious, I guess. But
Patricio Pitbull debut coming over from Bellator PFL. I love
interesting. No, right, Pixie.
No, this is going to cause some scarring.
It's going to come. I have actually watched it, and I did tell Ross about the famous scene at the end involving a window. That's all I'm going to say.
What, the knob job?
Yeah. So if that counts, one of us, and I'm throwing you under the bus here, Ross. One of us has watched it.
I'm used to it. You hear Paradigm Review Show. It's a bit of a different vibe than Zodiac Files and the rest of the programming here on the channel.
Teamwork. Well, let's unify. One of us has done his work.
Exactly. One of us has done his homework.
Folks.
What up, Jeff?
We better. Then this is where I'm going to show positive teamwork. All right, what do you guys think about Snow White's bad box office?
I responded to this on Lauren Lepree's channel. I don't know if he posted it yet. Average Superstar TV. I do an occasional every on and off show with him over there regarding current events and some of the Hollywood news. You can go see my response over there. I mean, I don't even know what Disney is up to these days. There was the rumor of selling Star Wars, guys. I don't think there's any rumor of selling Marvel, but they need one.
Yeah, I mean, I've taken about as much interest in Snow White as as you all could imagine. So I've actually
they got north. They got no shite.
Yeah. Definitely that would be the better name for it as well.
The alternate P-make. Yeah. I think on that note we can cut, guys, because I'm going to take a little break between shows, but. Any final questions? Yeah, I mean, Warfare looks all right. Like that's what I was saying about A24. They're hit or miss. Like I don't love everything they do, but like definitely like as far as I don't know, because the writer director of 28 Days did Civil War, like we were saying, Gaz, but he's not directing 28 Years Later. So I don't know if 28 Years Later is going to be A24. Does I guess a major studio probably owns the rights to the 28 trilogy, and I don't know who it is.
No, I don't either. I've just remembered I'll give a shout out to Eric Roberts again. I actually only watched this about probably 3 weeks ago, and it's got Eric Roberts is in it, Michael Madsen's in it, and Robert Lasado again, and it's called Arena Wars. And it's kind of like a dystopian kind of, I guess a dystopian blood sport set in the future,
like a
but
death race kind of thing.
but it's people from different eras of history who've been taken from their time and forced to fight in this arena. So you've got people, say from World War One, and someone up against, say, a Viking or something like that. It's very indie, but it's not the worst movie ever. So it's worth a watch. But yeah, folks, we better wrap this up so Ross can get a break. Because
I get it. The feed the cats joke from Desert Fiends. Okay, I missed it, guys. But yeah, no, those characters were hilarious too. Like he's like, "Why do you do this to me?" He's like, "What did he say?" He's like, "Because I have to, or because you deserve it, or something like that."
Yeah,
that was funny. No, the dialogue is hilarious. I thought you were gonna feed the cats.
I missed that as well.
Feed the cats. I think I did see Sleepwalkers. I remember Tommy Knockers. But Stephen King's done so much stuff that can't differentiate. Yeah, I guess you guys had something to do with it, Mac and Jeff. But appreciate you guys coming through. I think we're gonna wrap. Everybody, go check out Desert Fiends on Amazon Prime. Hopefully, it'll be it's on YouTube as well here in the States. So check it out on those. Of course, the trailer movie's absolutely hilarious, and some great cameos. Shout out to Shawn and Nicole for producing that.
Definitely shout out to them.
Come back and join us at 4 with myself and Dion Walker. Zodiac Files episode 17. Desert Fiends out now. I don't know if the campaign is still going, but if you guys know, you can feel free to throw that in the chat for Desert Fiends too. So shout out to Shawn and Nicole. And I am your boy Ross Fiend. I will be back shortly with my guy Dion. Like, sub, share. Click the bell for notifications. Click join to get a membership. And, of course, over on my Patreon, you can join free with the Gmail, Google account. I'm going to come back with the Most Dangerous Game adaptation reviews. I just haven't kind of like fell off and just, you guys know it moved and all that stuff. So I'll be back soon with that. And then I'm going to add because the last one I did was the 10th victim. So I'm going to add a couple of new things, and then I'm going to be doing some retrospective deep dive on the Red Circle, which is something that no one has covered amazingly in Zodiac world, but that's okay. You guys leave the films to me, and that's how it should be. Go pop over there. You can join free, and then like I said, when I do Red Circle, it's probably going to be a number. It's going to be behind the paywall, like the 10th victim thing. I'm not, can't just do all the work free around here, and YouTube pays pennies, so it is what it is. Like, share, sub, click join on Patreon in here, and come back in a bit for volume 17 of the Zodiac Files. You can subscribe to PXM over at Mosh Shinobi, and we'll definitely have the dual streams going again once we do it's called Avenging Force. So we'll
which Pixies, interestingly, we only recently discovered this was written as the sequel to Invasion USA, because Dudikoff plays Matt Hunter, Chuck Norris's character in Invasion USA. So me and Ross are quite amped to get into that for you, to do a deep dive on that. There is, as Ross has said, notable movies around the Most Dangerous Game, various ones. So we will be looking at those as well and seeing which ones we can introduce. Don't forget, as Ross said, he's back at 4 p.m. Thanks everybody for coming through. Shout out to Shawn, Nicole, and all the cast as well. A very entertaining movie. Loved all the music references as well. That didn't escape me. I thought that was sick. And can't wait to see the second one, and keep them coming.
The score was absolutely sick. Shout out to whoever did the score.
Big C.
Don't forget
it's good Steve James and Dudikoff. It'll be good.
You're going to change your tune on that when you find out that it relates to the Most Dangerous Game here on my shelf. You're going to change your tune on that. So obviously we're looking to do Bloodsport, and then Greg was asking us about Game of Death, so we want to get Bruce Lee on the channel.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Finally got Kurosawa. What was the other one that I was thinking of besides those? Bloodsport, Game of Death, and I don't know. Oh, the Tony Jaa striking rescue, was it?
Striking distance, is it?
Striking Rescue, I think. The thing is guys, we don't know if there's a pro release of it, and I'm not. It was on YouTube, but it was an utterly horrendous rip. So I'm not gonna do Tony Jaa like that. It's supposed to be his big return.
Agreed. So
when and if Gaz and I find the pro copy, we will definitely review that, and we'll probably just bump some things around to expedite it in the schedule. Don't forget to feed the cats. It's already posted under posts, my brother. We got Bloodsport and Havoc coming up with Tom Hardy and Gareth Evans. I'll post. I'm doing some travel next month. I got to shoot a film on the East Coast, so next month's schedule's in flux, but we do have most of it together. Look out for Lauren Lepre joining us for Roadhouse OG and a few other things. So yeah, go over to posts and not in the Gary Francis sense, and go over to the post section and go see. I posted it with the Desert Fiends show. Underneath it is the schedule. So Pixie, you can help out spamming that. All right, y'all. Don't forget to feed the cats. We're out. Desert Fiends on Amazon and YouTube in the US, and we'll be back in about an hour with Dion for Zodiac Files episode 17.
All right.
Appreciate you guys coming through. Fire Pixie, Slipknot, Jeff, Mac. Who else came through? Cloud, Slippy,
Dark Side, Jerome for
the beginning. Yeah, shout out to everybody who came through. Like, sub, share. I know that was like 5 outros, but that's how we do it here at PXP. We're out here. Paradigm Review Show, #1 review show on the interweb. Like, sub, share. We're out.
All right, peace, y'all.
Desert Fiends. Go check it out.